We cleaned up our mess and left the classroom. Fucking hell. I was extra cautious leaving the room, but there was no one in sight. Okay. Luna had her hand over her stomach and clenched her knees together like she was cold. She gasped quietly and wiped her inner thighs with a handkerchief. I felt like I was watching something taboo, so I averted my eyes. I still heard the same cheers and calls from the field as before. We had just been doing a different sort of exercise for the time being. It felt like I had inhabited a different world. Again? While I was looking away, Luna pulled on my elbow. I wonder why. Yeah. Is it bothering you that it's leaking? Luna nodded. But it's gonna be normal speed. Oh, right. Okay, should we depart from the roof? Damn, not even questioning whether or not he should do it. Huh? What? Is that why the magic is failing? What do you mean by that? Huh? What? Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought she was referring to a fucking magic item shit, not she's trying to give me a heart attack. Hihi's delivery service, yes. Wait, did the girl in that movie end up doing it with the guy with the glasses? I think she watched a different movie. I guess you're right. You watched the Aftermath. 7-1. Oh, it's been a... What? The last date was fucking 15, right? I mean, it's been a full... It's been 2 weeks. Oh, yeah. Before I knew it, it was June. It was July. 15 days. 16 days, around that much. The oceans opened starting today. No, he parted the oceans. That's different. No, not like that. Look, there's people swimming. The official start of the season was 10 a.m. 10 a.m.? But it seemed like some people just couldn't wait. Right. That was Luna's keen observation at work. Maybe we could come for a bit after class? Yeah, like the last time you came after class. I mean... That was 2 weeks ago. They forgot about it. We were planning to go out together after class, so I went to meet Luna. I forgot what voices I did. Ah, it's Ushi! I immediately recognized the usual 4 girls Luna hung out with. They seemed nice, but the fact that they hadn't even told me their names, they hadn't even told me their names yet, was the scratch on the diamond, I guess. Going on a date with your boyfriend? Wow, gross! And why is that? Duh! Cause she'll get sunburn on her porcelain skin. What was that voice? The sunburn? Yeah, huh? She's like whiter than snow. and smooth as silk. I mean, she didn't have a problem last time. Yeah, she didn't have a problem last time. And they all started sliding their fingers along her exposed forearms through her short sleeves. Hey, the only person who gets to do that is me. I mean, we're just saying you should put on sunscreen, though. But she doesn't seem like the type to do that. Yeah, huh? Luna didn't even use a hairdryer until just recently. I think she can use magic. Wow, not even a hairdryer. But why would you? Why would you know that? Kind of dirty, if you ask me. Is it? No, it's not like that. You see, what do you think? It's not too hot, so I was thinking we don't have to swim.
プールの授業で思ったですが、泳ぐのはあんまり好きではないので、眺めるだけでいいです。
Oh, okay, let's do that. She won't float in water. She's too skinny. Did that even matter? We left the lively bunch behind and made our way to the beach. Also, a pool and the ocean are different. The ocean has a lot of salt water in it. I think she would have a higher chance of being able to float in salt water than the fucking pool, which doesn't have any salt water and only has chlorine in it. And water, but whatever. Once outside, I grabbed her elbow and examined it. You are pretty white, yeah. The sunburn will make you red.
日焼け止め塗った方がいいです？
Like I said, it wasn't a problem last time. But, I don't know. I feel like we're on high alert now.
故郷ではプールにしろ外にしろ泳ぐことはなかったです。
I don't
だ
know.
から勝手もいまいち不明です。
I just think of your world as like a desert kind of area because of where Yuta spawned when he came to your world. So the swimming class was your first time?
なかなか難しいです。
You don't know how to swim. Maybe it does matter. If you're skinny or fat. Buoyancy, that is.
そう。ただ、クラスの友達にはよく細いとか言わ
I
れる
don't
です。
think your enjoyment of swimming comes down to how fucking your fucking body fat percentage. Usually a girl would have declared that with some pride, but Luna doesn't seem to care either way as usual. Unlike the morning, the beach was bustling with people. The ocean sparked and the sun's reflection was too bright to look at directly. It isn't... You're implying that the sun's reflection isn't too bright to look at directly most of any other time? What do you mean? It's only during the summer when the sun's reflection is too bright to see directly, but any other season, it's okay. Well, I say summer, but like summer started in June for them. Well, if you get a burn and end up looking like a lobster, then... Huh? Where'd she go? I did a full turn and saw her. She was staring at one of the beach shops that had just opened today. I made my way over there and got hit by the smoky scent of grilled corn and squid.
突然家が出現しているです。我々の仲間です。
What do you mean, are they friends? It's a beach shop. They sell food in addition to renting out chairs and stuff.
はあ。
The scent of grilled food roused my hunger. But Luna switched gears and was already moving toward the water. I followed her and we walked along the coastline.
意外に美味しいです。
Oh, yeah. We bought an ear of corn and squid and shared them. I knew Luna wouldn't need much. We sat down on the sand and ate. It was as simple as could be, but felt luxurious.
ごちそうさまでした。
Look, I get they've been spending all of their fucking resources with drawing the hate scenes, but like at least have one CG with them on the beach. Come on, man. Not even the fucking Not even the fucking, like, potluck they had on the beach the first time they went there had a CG. She noshed on the food enough to enough for some to stick to her face. She didn't notice as she gazed out of the ocean. You've got some on your face. I wiped her smooth cheeks clean with a tissue.
Oh.
Luna giggled ticklishly. It was weird doing things like this for her. Like I was caring for a little girl. Probably shouldn't say that. Well, the only difference was that she was actually my wife, and we've had sex multiple times. Huh? Oh, right. I thought about mentioning this before.
日焼け止
Yeah.
め？うん。痛くなるようだったら試してみるです。
Surprisingly, she didn't bring up magic. Luna was a bit lacking in the department of cosmetic knowledge, but she had such perfect assets, so there was definitely an imbalance. Maybe that was part of her appeal.
これが潮風ですか。ちょっと肌がベトつくようです。
It makes it salty. I guess because it has salt in it. I wouldn't say sticky. After a few seconds, she answered.
ユータ、メフィストの召喚ですが。
What? Yeah. The summoning debate had been put on the back burner. We had been more concerned about fooling around.
結界のためのマテリアルはあと3回分残っています。
Okay, surely that means that one of those times they'll actually spawn Mephisto.
そこであと3回すべて使い切ったらそれで終わりにしようと思います。
Oh. Luna had clearly decided, so I just nodded without adding anything.
前にも言ったようにぜひともしないといけないという気持ちも薄れてしまったようですから。
Yeah.
それにもう一つ、これも次第に自分の中で引っかかりとなってきたのですが。あなたの小種をあんなことに使ってしまうのも良くないのでは、と
Yeah.
思うようになりました。
Is there a better way? Is there a better use for his sperm now? Never mind. It isn't.
まあ、オナニーばっかりしてはゴミ箱に捨てていたユータにはピンとこない話かもしれないですが。
Called out, bro. I don't masturbate. My goodness.
はあ、
Just once a day. Some people may consider that excessive, but I really hadn't been recently, aside from procuring materials, of course.
あれも本当は生きているです。なので、
Yeah, huh?
ずいぶん前、道で初めて猫を見かけたとき、私は真っ先にマテリアルのことを思いました。でも今は、そんなことは思わないです。
So the reason you don't think of his cum as material is because it's alive? That happened, yeah. Luna was hesitant to raise a cat, knowing it would one day die. Which meant that she was becoming more respectful of life with each passing day, perhaps. Perhaps. Haboon. Okay, so are we gonna try the summon today? Which means copious amounts of sex. That's why we skipped 2 weeks. Alright. Oh, not yet. 3 days later, 7-4. A few days after that, we were on the second to last try. Luna took the padlock thing that came out and did her usual step.
タンタントンタントン。
literal step.
そして今日はいつもより余計にトトントン。
Her attempt at reassurance was a little lost on me as the padlock crumbled. I had seen this happen more than enough times, so I just stared lazily at her, going through the motions. But that demon that came tonight had me more than intrigued. The demon that came tonight had me more than intrigued. What the? It was kind of a lewd-looking demon. It actually looked like a vagina. It looked a little like a vagina. Scratch that. It was identical. The vaginal crevice was the mouth, and it had tentacles all around. And as a lovely added effect, the clitoris part had a dick-like thing, pointing straight out. It was an abnormal aberration.
気味悪いです。
Yeah, can you fuck it? I mean, can you fuck it? I mean, Luna cowered behind me like she was afraid. What kind of demon is this exactly?
さあ、わからないです。謎です。
Oops. The tentacles flailed in one direction, then the next, like it was sniffing the air around it. I'm gonna puke. Yeah, but like, can you? I mean, it eased forward. It didn't seem as hostile as the avian demon from before. But we were in the dark, so it couldn't hurt to be careful. We put as much distance between us and it as we could, watching its movements all the while. Suddenly, something shot out of its mouth. So this is where it's going. We instinctively covered our noses and mouths, but we could only hold our breaths for so long. There was a vent over the cauldron, but the air wouldn't instantly clear. We were at our limit, holding our breaths, and our bodies shook in pain. With pain, Luna's face was bright red. And then... At some point, the demon lost its bio accelerator and vanished, but the disgusting gas still lingered in the room. Yeah, I wonder what that gas is gonna do. It's the fucking demon that was a vagina, fucking clitoris, tentacle looking ass, whatever the fuck, shooting out gas. I wonder what it's gonna do.
少し肺に入った。
Being dramatic isn't funny right now. No, she wasn't joking. I could feel it filling my lungs. The smell and sensation wasn't unpleasant. Actually, it was comforting. We weren't hacking or choking or anything, but... No? It seemed to be harmless. The smoke cleared quickly. Are we okay? Yeah, are you? Luna was dizzy, unable to answer. Wait, maybe I was the one stumbling around. I couldn't tell anymore. I wonder what's gonna happen after the screen stops being black. Whatever the next transition is. Not yet. I'm waiting for it. How long had we been out for? My sense of time was hazy, but it seemed like several minutes had passed since I had opened my eyes. I finally gathered enough composure to speak and called out. Luna? I tried to get up, but I was too heavy, like my whole body was buried in sand. He's still unaware. Gah. Maybe that gas was poisonous. I mean, it definitely did something. Aside from my heavy body, I didn't feel any pain or ill in particular. All I could do at the moment was lift my head and look around the room. Huh? Is she not here? I couldn't see her. Oh, damn. Panic swept over me, and it seemed like there was something wrong with me. After all, I was burning up inside. But it's a good kind of heat. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't moan like that. Thinking about it made my breathing heavy. And wait. I finally noticed that my sensor was rock hard. Sheesh. What was I thinking? Anyway, Luna first. Where the heck is she? What? I went blind and I seriously freaked out. Oh, he wasn't on top of her yet. On top of him yet. That's why I was. That's why the CG wasn't there. Huh? Oh, wait. Is this? So if you still haven't caught on what the fucking gas was, it was a fucking aphrodisiac. I could sniff it a mile away. Pun intended. I could sniff that shit from a mile away. If it wasn't gonna be the tentacles assaulting Luna, it was gonna be fucking the aphrodisiac gas. So it was Luna. Oh, her clothes must have covered my eyes. Yeah, her clothes. What are you doing, Luna? I wished I could just see her. All I needed to do was move her shirt, but I couldn't even do that. Anyway, are you okay? It was kind of a weird position to be in, with my head up her skirt, worrying about her safety. Wait. Skirt. I said shirt instead. God damn it. Okay, good. Huh? Look, it's black at the moment, so this is going in the YouTube. Still, until it isn't. I finally noticed that Luna wasn't herself. Well, it should have been obvious from the start, but my head was still in a daze. Obviously, something's off. It's not like her to climb on top of me like this. Okay, so you aren't fucking... So you aren't that dumb. Okay, so he knows that he knows that it's not just her skirt. What are you doing, Luna? She ignored my shock and stroked my dick. Dick isn't censored, so right, up and down. Oh, I shuddered after she touched it, even over my pants. Okay, maybe this part will be Patreon only. Luna pulled it out carefully, and that feeling also sent shivers through me. Look, I know that nothing is being shown yet, but yeah, I'll play it by ear. I flipped up her skirt with my still heavy hands. Tonight, for the first time, we decided to go to bed together from the start. Not even when you had sex the first time? What do you mean? You actively choose to fucking go down to your own house to sleep together instead of You were in her house. What do you couldn't just you couldn't just sleep in her bed or whatever. Sure, it doesn't make sense. That weird gas included. We had a really crazy experience together, just so he didn't want to leave. Both of us were exhausted, but we still stared passionately into each other's eyes.
さすがに恥ずかしいです。
Luna wrapped herself around my arm as she said that. Once the effects of the gas vanished, we were back to our usual selves. It shouldn't be embarrassing. I'm the only one looking. I stroked her long hair.
けど、いつもとだいぶ違った感じになってしまったので。
Yeah, it was hotter. I mean, yeah, I can't deny that.
ちょっとというか、だいぶ変になってしまったです。している最中は自分が変という自覚もなかったですが、でもちゃんと記憶は残っているです。振り返ると恥ずかしいです。
Luna blushed.
花があったら入りたいとはこのことなり。
She was shy, but being honest with herself in her tired state. I'm sleepy too. Let's sleep.
おやすみです。
Night. Seven 13. Oh. That's a bit over a week from last time. It was the last day of the semester. It seemed to go by in a flash, probably because of all the past few months' emotional changes. Past few months' emotional changes. So much happened. Time tended to fly by. Time tended to fly when blessings arrived. I had a lover, a wife, and nothing could be better than that. The closing ceremony in the gymnasium ended, and it was officially summer break. Hey, how about we go to karaoke? Or an arcade? It's been ages since we did. Yeah, sure. Oh, I was almost expecting you to blow it off. You gonna hanging out with your girlfriend today? What are these voices? It's the last day, so she has plans with her friends. I glanced over to where the first years were and saw Luna among them. She was with the usual four, as they chatted up a storm, laughing away. It was only recently that Luna had started laughing aloud, with a big smile. In the past, she offered nothing but subtle smiles, and the occasional hum, and the occasional smirk. She could still be very smug when she was when she was more of a kudere. Luna had changed so much since then. She was much less reserved. That part of her had been left behind, it seemed. When we slept together last night, she said our next summon attempt would be the final one. No. Wait. No. What? That means they... Okay, I'm remembering it now. The last time it was... The last date they showed was the 4th. And now it's the 14th. I thought they already would have done their last attempt. What they took 10 days off, apparently. They were so embarrassed by the last time they did the summoning, I guess. I don't know. She wasn't putting it off until today because of fear. That couldn't be farther from the truth. Okay, they explain it at least. It was rarely the object of her focus. She also said as much when I asked her. The urgency and desire had clearly waned. Well, now she's got a fucking... she's got another reason to train you. Yeah. Come on! She'll be there later. Hmm? Yeah. Fuck off! Fuck off me! Oh, I'm so jealous. Yeah, that's me. That's what I sound like. You want a girlfriend too? No. That sultry gaze you were directing at her made me jealous. What can you do? What? Ikita's voice is so fucking inconsistent. What can you do? Seriously. Later at night, knowing it was the last time made me nervous. Well, not really. Luna didn't seem to be placing much emphasis on it either. She was as calm as ever. Is that really going to be the decider for on whether or not she is able to summon Mephisto?
できました。
Yeah.
では早速。
Because, like, how fucking anticlimactic would it be if, like, at the end of all of this, that they still they just ended off with never actually summoning Mephisto, right? How fucking like, I know I talked about blue balls a lot, but like, that would be the ultimate blue balls. At least Yuta's balls aren't blue any longer. This was the last kind of magic item she could make, but she activated it without delay. The padlock opened.
あれ?
No good. We weren't necessarily expecting anything, but it was disappointing having our last attempt end in failure.
いえ。
Luna glared at the floor. I noticed that there was some white smoke billowing. What? It's not pink smoke this time, so you're not going to have anything that happened last time happen again. The thing that happened last time happened again. I jumped backwards in shock.
これは。
This has never happened before. Until now, there had been wispy smoke, and when it cleared, a demon had appeared. A demon had... Wait. Until now, there had been wispy smoke, and when it cleared, a demon had appeared. But we had definitely never seen such thick billowing smoke. Luna ran over to me as quickly as she could. The smoke at her feet didn't dissipate at all. Was she afraid? Her body was shaking slightly. The smoke was slowly starting to rise off the floor. Up to our knees, then legs, waist, chest, until it reached our necks. I craned my neck up in the air, like I was on a sinking ship. Luna. I held her tight and lifted her up above the smoke as high as I could. The smoke continued to rise higher, until it finally reached the roof. We held our hands over our mouths. I knew it couldn't last for long, but this was a matter of life and death. And then... the smoke completely blocking our vision dissipated in an instant. My arms were burning, and I lowered Luna down to the floor. Something looked different, somehow, about the room. I blinked heavily and shook my head a few times. Nothing changed. I looked over at Luna and thought she was holding her breath, but she leapt back suddenly. What?
ユータの
Huh? She shot me an inquisitive look, her eyes perfectly still. What about me? Her stare was making me uneasy.
ユータの目の中
My eyes? I went to rub my eyes instinctively, and then it happened.
触るでない。
Why is it a fucking hag? Why does Mephisto have to sound like a fucking hag? Huh? Did I just speak? Yeah, it's pretty weird for a fucking arrogant protagonist to have a voice actor, and it's an old woman. Man, this isn't fucking Goku. And that definitely wasn't Luna's voice. It was different from mine too. Yeah, my voice sounds more like this. God damn it. No one else was present, which meant it had to be.
むやみに触ると目がつぶれる。
I threw my hand over my mouth. It was definitely my mouth moving. Luna grabbed onto my arm and pulled herself close enough to our forehead, for our foreheads to be touching. Usually we would have kissed at this distance, but her expression told me she was on the alert. Get out of my husband.
瞬き一つにも満たぬ時間でも、このわしが現出するにはこの世はあまりに寒すぎる。
The fuck is that? Yep.
そこで、この若者の心の窓越しに相まみえることにした。目がつぶれるというのは冗談だ。
Huh? He's in my eyes? Mephisto? Luna didn't nod. She just stared silently. What the? No way. I was confused. In my eyes? A crippling fear assailed me.
どうして今になって
それが知りたいことか。そんな質問をこのメフィストフェレスに対して投げかけたいのか。わしは過去の記録のすべてを読み取ることができる。だが今を生きる人の心だけは読めん。
いえ違います。
では初めて相まみえる魔女の姫へのことほぎに変えて答えてやろう。お主が無心だったからだ。
無心
After the shit we've done, they've done, I wouldn't really call them pure.
知りたがる者に答える言葉はない。このわしも時の流れから逃れることはできぬ。体がいくらあっても足りぬ。
So it did have to do with her mental state. God fucking damn it. I was thinking that.
だがお主のように無心に求める声が聞こえたならば、応じるのも悪くはない。どのような書も時には紐解かねば、やがて朽ちて塵となる。それは避けねばならぬ。さて、本当に知りたいことを尋ねるがいい。
私は何者です。
What? That's what she wanted to know all this time. One could trace the footsteps of their past up until the moment of their birth. Normally, that is. But Luna's footsteps fell off at one point, so she could not truly claim to know her identity.
お主は魔女の姫。こんな答えでは不満か？
不満です。
ではお主が望む答えはこれか。お主は転生体。
転生体？
An incarnation? What's that supposed to mean?
何ですかそれは。
そのようなつまらぬ質問は、それこそお主の親にでもするのだな。無心の召喚に応じた義務もこれで果たした。さらばだ。
Well, at least they won't stay in his body forever. I felt a desperately powerful hold on my arm. And it slowly loosened. Is he gone? Luna nodded subtly. I rubbed my eyes carefully. It didn't feel any different before, but knowing he was there was unnerving. Yeah, also blinking would have, been an issue. Not blinking, I mean. Luna took her hands off me and tilted her head in immense confusion.
転生体。
What could that mean? Luna shook her head.
わからないです。私も初めて聞いた。
Oh.
メフィストは両親に聞けと言っていたです。私、早速行ってきます。
Oh. Okay. Flashbang. Motherfucker. Luna had already vanished before I could utter anything. Left in the room all alone. It felt unusually spacious. Once it was past midnight, I went to check things out, but Luna hadn't returned yet. How long would it take just to ask her parents a question? I wish I could have asked her, but she disappeared so quickly. I crawled into bed and Luna's absence became real. I mean, she didn't usually get into bed with me at first, though. I sighed and reached over to the other side of the bed. The sheets were cold and dry. 7:14. Now it's 14.
あら珍しい。あんた今日から夏休みでしょ？
Yeah.
ああ、ルルちゃんが食べに来るから。
I nodded ambiguously. I may have expected her to be sitting here, which is why I hurried down out of bed. I left the living room and booked it out of the house without even washing my face. It's just one. I sprinted up up the stairs, skipping 2 or 3 steps at a time. Luna. She's not here. Luna. Luna had a silly side, so I thought I'd look into the urn to make sure she wasn't playing hide and seek. Of course, that's not what she was doing. I slumped my shoulders after dashing up the stairs and burning out. I went back to the house, but my parents didn't say anything. They assumed I was in the bathroom. How?
今日は遅いな。
そうね。今日はどうしたの？
She said she had a stomachache.
あら、大丈夫なの？
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's anything serious. I couldn't help but question why I was lying to them. For some reason, I didn't want to bother telling them the truth. That my wife is missing. They returned to their meals, as if the explanation sufficed for them. It was the long-awaited start of summer break, but I just piddled around doing nothing, my mind wandering. Morning, lunch, afternoon, and then night. And before I slept as well. I had to loop countless times between my house and hers, but to no avail. I peeked in numerous times, but her house was an empty shell. No one was there, yet the witch's cauldron steamed as usual, and the smell I had gotten used to seemed to taunt me. Yeah, that smell. It seemed peculiar at first. Like a fragrance of sorts. It wasn't unpleasant or anything. Luna had told me long ago. It is a good smell when you get used to it. It was probably an overstatement to call it good. But I was used to it, that was for sure. And how random was that? Me walking in on her changing. Random. Sure. Not to mention, it had only been a day since I saw her, but I was deeply nostalgic. I was lonely. No point in lying to myself. But seriously, when the heck was she returning? I couldn't stop thinking about it. She was just going to ask her parents a single dang question. I was, of course, lonely that I couldn't be with her, but being in the dark was the real downer here. What the heck's going on? $7:15. I had planned on sleeping in to my heart's content over my break, but I woke up early yet again. I flew down to the kitchen.
ん？あんた、今年の夏休みは早起きするつもりなの？
No. I got to a door and looked at the usual parchment. I remembered it being different after she had returned once before. I was preaching, but please knock to this rhythm. Ton 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 ton. It was just the usual one.
あら、あんたトイレ行ってるんじゃなかったの？
Huh?
なんか汗かいてるじゃない。
I left the living room mostly just to avoid explaining. It was just too much to bear right now. Phew. I sat on my bed and felt my clothes stick to my body with sweat. With shit. This wasn't just because I went up and down once. I was stressing out as well. 7:16. On day 3, I couldn't keep up the lie anymore. Honestly, it was hard to communicate Luna's side of the story in all this, so I glossed over it.
なんだ、新婚早々でもう夫婦喧嘩か？
No.
だったら意地張ってないで、さっさと謝りに行けよ。夫婦円満にはそれが一番だ。なあ、母さん。
あなたが言ってもあまり説得力はないですけどね。
そうかい？
Go see her. Go see her. I couldn't just go see her. The unseen but ever-present wall between her world and mine felt like it was collapsing on me. I called everyone over to my place.
あら、ルルーナ帰ってしまっていたの。確かに最近顔は見なかったけど、普段からフラフラしているし、あまり気にしていなかったわね。
でも確かに妙ですね。ご両親にお話を伺いに行っただけならすぐに戻ってこられるはずですが。
Yeah, right. Totally. But it's been 3 days already. My voice sank into despair.
でもさ、里帰りも久しぶりでしょ。だからつい長居しちゃってるんじゃない？
That had actually never occurred to me, and it seemed plausible.
長いね。でもあっちに戻ったところで友達もいないんだし。
Right. That's also true. I was jumping to conclusions left and right in my uneasiness.
おっかさんの手料理がうまくて離れられないとか。
ルルーナはあなたみたいな食いしん坊ではないでしょ。
久しぶりだからというので両親がなかなか返してくれないというのはありそうですが。
Yeah. Either way, since I couldn't contact her, it was all just speculation. The reason I called you all here is because I have a favor. Can one of you go check on Luna for me? I never considered their refusal, but they all looked apologetic.
そうしてあげたいのは山々なのですが。
Yorihime spoke on everyone's behalf.
私たちとしても簡単には異世界に行くことができないんです。
What? You can't?
それで年に一度の機会を作ってみんなで集まっていたようなものでして。
I thought this would solve the problem, but that hope was crushed, darkening my vision with despair.
本当はこっちにだって来られなかったはずなのよ、私たちは。でもあなたがいたから。
Me?
ちぎりよ。それを頼りにこちらに来られたというわけ。
I see. Yeah. Even though they were gathered here, they couldn't see one another easily. I was once again reminded of how thin the thread that connected all of us actually was.
むしろユータならいけるんじゃない？
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Huh? Why?
だって子供の頃はいろんなところに出現したんだし。
She was right about that. But the instances I was spirited away stopped abruptly when I was younger. Yeah, after your 5th pact. And I never actually moved between worlds with my own power, so the path was an enigma.
意識していくことはできないの？
No. I shook my head and Lucy just looked at me sympathetically. It's alright. Thanks. Let's just wait a little longer. That was virtually all I could do. They left and I pondered alone in my room some time. Could I not travel to other worlds if I tried? Not too long ago, I believed all I could do was wait. When I was a kid, I was honestly just dragged along through circumstance. But why did that even happen to me in the first place? I hadn't the foggiest. In that regard, I might be grappling with a similar crisis like Luna. Although I never stressed over my identity like Luna did. Surely an anomaly existed, that could point me to the truth. That had to be true. What could it be? If something was different, would I not have been able to travel to the other worlds? I mean, naturally, I changed, but the truth I so desperately craved eluded me. What the heck was the impetus that transported me to the other worlds? If I at least knew that, I could use that hint to get back. I scoured my brain repeatedly, but came up with nothing. As I continued ruminating, the sky grew dark outside my window. As usual, my parents weren't around, so if I didn't go out to eat, I would go hungry. But even that seemed like a hassle. I hadn't even eaten since breakfast, but I wasn't hungry in the slightest. Reflecting upon the matter incessantly, knowing no clue existed, made me feel helpless. Which means the only thing left is...
さっき私が言っていたこと？
Yeah, you said the reason you all could come here was because there was a pact, right?
ええ、それが？
Well, the same applies for me too.
ん？ああ、ルルーナのことね。
Right.
しばらく待つんじゃなかったの？
Lucy snickered at me humorously. Well, that was originally my plan. But I really want to see her. Even a minute sooner.
きっとそういうものなのでしょうね。前にも言ったように、私たちのちぎりは単なる口約束ではないの。二人をつなげる強い力を持つ。だからユータの言う通りよ。それをよすがとしてルルーナの元に行くこともきっと可能だと思う。ただユータは異世界での出来事のことみんな忘れてしまってるんじゃなかった？
Lucy looked deep into my eyes with concern. I nodded meekly. Yeah, right.
力を持つというのが事実としても、ちぎりというものの本質は約束よ。こちらの風習でこんなことをするそうね。
Lucy stuck out her pinky finger. Ah, pinky swear.
そう。でもそれだって忘れてしまえば何にもならない。ちぎりも結局そういうものなんだわ。
So you mean I won't be able to depend on the pact to find her?
まあ。
But even still, I fall in love with her.
え？
Luna had said the same thing. She remembered the pact, but not necessarily how she felt.
ふん。
It seemed like it was the first Lucy had heard of that. I too felt unsure when I first heard that from Luna. I felt like the thread that connected us was severed in that moment. But in the end, we became lovers, husband and wife. The pact had to have been a promise with a true power. But that also meant that the ephemeral moment wasn't the final deciding factor.
魔女とのちぎりは相手のマナを教えてもらうことだわ。
Yeah, so remember her name and then I don't know.
だからルルーナのマナを思い出すことができれば、二人は自然と引き合わされるんじゃないかしらね。
Yeah, that.
たとえ別々の世界で離れ離れになっていたとしても。
Yeah. I nodded strongly. The problem was, I had no idea what I had to do to remember her soul name. Her true name. Her soul name. In that case, Luna was only a temporary name. Neither Lucy, any of her friends, nor anyone of that matter knew her soul name. But I did. I had heard it before. Apparently, that's how Luna was able to come here in the first place. Even if I couldn't remember it right now, it hadn't been discarded into the memory hole. It was just a matter of searching your brain for vestiges of the past and bringing out the memory. I had read that that's how our memories worked. So right now, I was just having trouble finding the way to bring it out. If finally there was some catalyst, I could revive the memory. I wanted to believe it.